You got it. Okay. So it's
Okay.
recording.
Yes. Welcome to our team call for the first Wednesday of October. I am super excited for you guys to be here tonight. We have a special guest and I am super thrilled about it. So, I mean, if you're in any of the Nailfie groups at all, let me try and mute you guys. If you're not muted, then mute yourself. If you're not in any of the, or if you're in any of the Nailfie groups, the chances are you have seen Nailfies from Tiffany. How do you say your last name? Oh, wait, you're muted. So hold on.
Howe Polish.
Okay, so if you have seen anything, I'm sure you have seen her Nailfies Howe polished, because they're everywhere and they're like the best. They're like you're scrolling and they always make me stop when I see her Nailfies. So I reached out to her and I said, you've got to do a team call for us, because I think a lot of us, as far as what I've heard feedback from our team, a lot of us have a struggle with how to take the perfect Nailfie, what that means, what goes behind it. And so I asked her if she would share with us today. And I'm so excited that she is. So Tiffany, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I'm going to just let you go. And then if you guys have questions during this, put them in the chat and I'll either like interrupt her or I'll have her do it at the end. But don't be shy to ask questions if you're not sure of something that she is saying. I think she can share her screen, so we're going to just try and rock it out. But thank you, Tiffany, for doing this for us. I'm super excited to hear from you today.
Oh my gosh, I'm seriously so humbled that you even asked me to do this. Freaking Julie Cruz. I've looked up to you for so long. Silently, like this little girl with like barely any team is like, oh my God, Julie Cruz. And to get that message from you, like just, it blew my freaking mind. I'm so excited to be here. Super humbled. Feel really unqualified to do this, but if you guys say so.
No, you're great.
Tips. I am not a photographer. Okay. I don't have like the perfect terminology for the lighting and the exposure, the hue. Like, I don't know any of that. Honestly, I use my iPhone to take all of the pictures. I think that iPhones have a wonderful camera, and I don't use, we'll get into that. See, I squirrel a little bit, so let me scoot back. I wanted to ask first, why do we take Nailfies? Does anyone have a good answer for why we take Nailfies? Julie, why do you take Nailfies?
I take Nailfies to try and show people how amazing the nail polish is so that they will want to buy it from me.
Okay. Jenna, why do you take Nailfies? Yes.
I never know if there's another Jenna, so
well, your team is so big.
Okay. I take, for the reason, I take Nailfies because I want my customers to see, like, if I'm wearing them, and they look great on me, they can look great on them too, because I'm just a everyday person and so are they. So that's why I do that.
Right. So like lead by example or show by example, wear the product, make people believe in it. One more, Allison Levin, why do you take Nailfies?
Oh. Hi, I take Nailfies for the same reason, to show everyone what it looks like on real hands, and especially if they're like the mixed Nailfies, the better, because then that's what attracts them. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's all Color Street, and then they want to buy it.
Right.
So you always want to get like
Nailfies
4
are where
colors.
It's at. Mixed Nailfies are where it's at. So the reason that I take Nailfies is almost 100% what you guys all said, showing the customers what the product is. It's so great that I literally can't even stop myself from changing it every 5 days. I have to wear it all the time. I have to play with it. I have fun with it. If I love it, they're most likely going to see that and feel that from me because it's genuine, right? Another super important reason to take Nailfies is marketing. And I know it seems weird, but marketing your Nailfies is 100% the most important thing that you're probably going to do to get your exposure and get yourself out there. So the reason that I started taking more time on my Nailfies, you guys, I take like 45 minutes to get my Nailfies together. It's not a joke. Like taking the picture, editing it, putting my watermark on it, getting it ready to go. It's a process. But if you start thinking of it as a tool for marketing yourself and for your branding, it's going to up your game so much. So Julie Cruz would not have known anything about Howe polished or Howe polished or whatever you said. I was like, she thinks my last name is Howe. She would not have even known who I was if I didn't take the time to work on my Nailfies and use it as a tool for marketing. So how do you do that? It's kind of easy. It just takes a little bit of time and practice. So we want the exposure, we want marketing, we want to advertise our sets, you want to advertise the product and how fun it is and why you love it, because that's why people love Color Street. They love it, it's fun, so you're the biggest billboard for that. There's also something on Facebook, and I believe it's on Instagram too, where it's like impressions versus engagement. So if your post gets impressions, that means somebody saw it. They scrolled, they didn't necessarily stop, they didn't feel like giving it a like, but they saw it and they moved past it. That's an impression, I believe. And then there's engagement, where someone actually takes the time to like it or comment on it or share it. Those are the ones that we want. It's like Julie said, those are scroll stopping posts where you're like, oh my God, I have to comment on this. I have to like this. So when you up your game on your Nailfies, you up your game on your exposure, on branding yourself, on marketing yourself and your business. And it's all just because you took a little bit of extra time to make a Nailfie. So am I going too fast? Okay. I also wanted to say, when you start creating a Nailfie, I mean, sometimes this is really hard because sometimes I want to wear Moulin Rouge and that's not in stock anymore. It's retired. But I try to always make Nailfies out of sets that are currently available in stock. So if I do a mixed manicure and I post it and someone's like, oh my God, Munich Mulberry, I had to look and see what I had on. Munich Mulberry is not in stock. That bums them out. So what I try to do is look and see what's in stock and make a little mixed manicure out of that. Because it's like you guys said, you post it because you want to show, I believe Allison, you want to show what it looks like on a real hand. Don't show them something they can't buy because they're going to want to buy it. I mean, most of the time. That's not like you can never wear a retired set. That's not, sorry, my computer is making all kinds of noise. Okay, so getting down into how do you take the good Nailfie? You have to prep your canvas. If your nails are trash, it's not gonna be a good Nailfie. But let me tell you, my nail beds are terrible, you guys. If you could see what was underneath this, it's the worst. My nails peel, they crack, they split, they don't grow, they always break, they're horrible. So you don't have to have beautiful nail beds, but you can fake it. You can make sure they're shaped right, buff them, use a product like Nail Envy to smooth it out because I have ridges. Smooth it out. I use a couple coats of Nail Envy, let it dry, and then I literally buff the Nail Envy so it's smooth. Prep pad, Color Street. So taking that time to prep your nails with lotion. I mean, it's ridiculous, you guys. I lotion every night with like a heavy cream. I use Hard as Hoof, is that what it's called? Hard as Hoof every night, like just anything that I can do to help my poor little nail beds because they're horrible. It all matters. So prep, your nail care matters, good shape, good length. You wanna be really good at application. And from what I saw, what you guys all held up was really awesome application. Like you guys don't need any help with that. That's beautiful. Your nail length, I'll show you a picture later. But if you have gorgeous long nails and you break one, I know it's painful, but you have to cut them. You have to make them all match. Nobody wants to see a janky nail, a super long janky nail, and then everything else is short or like that. Immediately, all I see is that janky nail, and I don't want anything to do with that Nailfie. So you want to make something that people are going to want to see, and that all your nails have to be good. I know it's really hard though to cut your long nails, but just putting that out there. Oh, try to, if mixed manis are your thing, like I believe Allison, you were the one that said it, mixed manis are hot right now. They are hot. And honestly, I don't even like mixed manis, but I do them because they're hot. Create a mixed mani. It's not easy, but when I was horrible at it at first. If you look at some of my old Nailfies, I don't even want to tell you. Some of the old ones, they're not good. So practice, you will get better at it. Put together Nailfies or mixed manis that you haven't seen anybody do before. My computer, I'm sorry, so loud. So if you see something by Life's a Beach Nails, don't just straight copy what she did, because she already put it out there and no one is going to see your Nailfie. They're going to see Life's a Beach Nails. Okay. They already saw her do it because her Nailfies get so much exposure. You want to try to create something unique. And sometimes that's just, I like that. What can I change? Sorry, you can't really see it. What can I change about that? That would change it up just a little bit, but kind of like start the thinking process and the creative process on how to make a mixed mani. Put some thought into it. So if you like a mani, get some inspiration, scroll through the books or the groups, get some inspiration and just practice changing one color, just one set, and it'll start your creative process. But at least you tried something new that people are going to see. Oh, I haven't seen that before. I do it. When I scroll, if I've seen something before, I'm just like, oh, I already saw that. Julie did that. Oh, Beck did that. You know, like I've already seen all those Nailfies before. But if you do something that I haven't seen before, for this, all I did was throw Munich mulberry in there, which I haven't seen before. And it's different. People are like, oh, I haven't seen that before. So try to create a unique mani that's going to catch people's attention that they haven't already seen. Are there any questions yet, Julie? I'm just trying to power through this.
There's a couple, but I think we're good. They wanted me to add the products at the end. That's totally fine. Allison was saying that if you have like twosies that you have of different colors and you want to have a mixed mani, you can use your twosies, and that's fine. I've been finding a lot of blurry and dark Nailfies and it makes it hard to use. Don't use them. You have to find the good ones. And honestly, it's hard to find the good ones. That's why we're teaching you today to make them for yourself.
For yourself, right.
And someone asked about watermarking, which I honestly feel like we could do a whole training on watermarking.
Oh, for sure.
So really it's just adding your name, your information, maybe a logo if you have one, to every photo, so that, well, the truth is people steal photos too. So
yes, they do.
That's a whole nother training.
No matter what you do, they're going to crop out your watermark.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's terrible.
I do have notes to touch on that like quickly at the end. So I'll
yeah,
try to
okay. I think that's good for now.
Okay, and definitely twosies. So I literally only opened one pack for this. I didn't open 4 packs. I can't do that. I'm not going to waste 4 packs and only use one All Wild Out. The only one I opened was All Wild Out. And the rest of them were twosies or ones I already had open. So I always save all the ones I've used before. And I try to I go through my package of already opened ones and try to make something. And then I go get one new one just to throw something else in there if I need to. But mostly I don't open new sets. Okay. So your nails look awesome. Your nails are done. You're ready to go. How do you take the picture? Make sure your nails cure. Do not take your picture before your nails cure. You don't have to wait overnight, but at least wait 30 minutes. Wait 30 minutes and even try just for your own knowledge. Take a picture before it cures. Take the exact picture after it cures and see how much better it looks. Like the color sets in, it adheres, the wrinkles are pulled out. It's fitted. It's so much better when it fully cures to your nail. So don't take Nailfies before 30 minutes. My biggest tip is to go outside. Don't take Nailfies inside. The lighting is almost never right unless you just happen to live in a house with perfect natural lighting, which I've never lived in that house before, and I've lived in a lot of houses. Inside lighting is the worst. Never use your actual lights. If you have a ring light, I've heard that's the best, but I can't ever get that to work. It's always like super shiny and it just never looks right. So just go outside. Grab your props. So I have a lot of props that I use. Don't laugh at me. I'm giving you my like insider secret, okay? Because you guys know I like to use a cuff like this, right? I cut it off. I do not actually put a sweatshirt on because I live in Georgia and it's too hot here. So I cut off some of my really old sweaters and I just use this and I walk around outside like this and just find the best lighting through my phone. I look through my phone, the camera, and I'm like, that looks like awesome lighting, take a picture. And sometimes I do this and take another picture and this and take another picture because you never know until you go inside and look at your phone which one looks the best and where the coloring looks the best. Now that I've done it so many times, I know exactly where to go in my outside and which way to look to get the best lighting. But
when I saw, okay, I was putting that collage together for for you. I never realized that you always have that same sweater look on there. I never noticed it until I put the collage together. And then I was like, oh, she does that every time. Like, it's totally genius to have. I never would have thought. I honestly thought in my head, man, she's putting on a sweater every time. Like, that's going to be so hot during the summer. It's totally genius. And I would have never thought of that. So great. That's great.
What I was doing was sticking my arm, just my arm in the sweater and letting the rest hang. And it was getting in my way. So I got pissed and I just cut it. I never wear this cardigan anyway. So I'm just going to cut it.
It's so smart.
It was just an act of frustration. Probably one I thought I was going to regret, but okay. So I have a bunch of props that I use. I have this. I have a bunch of Nailfie rings. I don't wear jewelry ever. I wear my wedding ring, and I have a bunch of jewelry just for taking Nailfies. So a lot of people ask about my little knuckle rings that I have. These are, let me put them on. These are all from Etsy. Okay, I buy them from The Humble Ring on Etsy, and they're amazing. They're fast. They're cheap, they're light, like you can adjust them so I can pull them apart and I can tighten them. They're just amazing. So I bought silver and rose gold rings from her. These also make great gifts for your team. I have my cuff, because the reason I started using a cuff is because I have really ugly hands. I have man hands. I almost never take a picture like this. Like, my hands are just, they're not pretty up close. So I use the cuff to cover the ugly parts of my hand. And if I take a picture with my hands, with my fingers stretched out, it's most of my hand is covered because my hands are not, they're just veiny and they're not pretty. So I use the cuff for that. I have cups that I use. So if you set your phone up on a ring light stand, or I actually just will use my window and prop my phone up so I'm getting natural light coming in, and just set the timer and just stand there and take a Nailfie like this, just to have something different. I have just a bunch of different cups that I use. This one says hello, gorgeous on it. Backgrounds. If you don't have a good background, this was from Walmart. It was $10 in like section, and they have a bunch of different ones that you can order or you can get. There's like metal ones and these wood ones, which are my favorite. So you can just lay this down outside, and I just put my hand right inside of it and take a picture, and it's so easy.
I totally thought you were using a fence.
Some of them I am using a fence.
Okay.
But my signature one where it's like laying down and my like pinky's all tweaked.
Yeah.
That I used to do that using this, and then I actually bought like a little wine barrel table to go outside because I do it so much.
That's cool.
Oh, now I just use that. But if you don't have anything, it's good to have a fence or a little prop. Let's see. Take multiple shots, especially at the beginning. I take at least like 20 pictures, and then I sit down and I go through and I first delete the ones I don't like, and then I favorite the ones that grab my eye first. So that's scroll stopping, right? If you can scroll stop yourself, that's definitely a keeper. And I usually keep 5 because it gives me 5 different post opportunities. So you post one of your hand like this, and then you have another one that you can post the very next day of your hand in a different pose, or even like Julie, I have the one of it by the fence. I have one where it's down with the wood, and then sometimes I have it like this. So I have 5 days of posts just from that one Nailfie, because a lot of times you do your nails and you're like, I posted my Nailfie, now I have to wait 5 days. Not if you take a bunch of pictures. And some of them can be this with you in your face, because people want to see your face, you know? So take a couple of pictures when you have it, you know, done. One really important step is to clean your lens. A lot of people don't realize how many smudges are on your lens. Like, you just grab your phone, right? You don't care that there's a camera there. Your kids touch your phone. There is, if you look at your phone right now, I bet you there's a smudge. Mine has a smudge on it right now. So how many of you are looking at your phone? Just give it a quick wipe, and it will change the cloudiness of your picture. And as hard as it is, do not take it in portrait mode. Portrait mode is hard to edit, and a lot of times the fuzz isn't perfect around the fingers, and it actually is a little bit blurry on your, like grainy on your hand. So honestly, I never use portrait mode. I don't like it. It totally ruins my Nailfies. Okay, so I'm gonna, Julie, any questions before I share my screen?
Allison said something. I was trying to look. Allison said that she puts her palm down and then turns in a circle until she sees the right light. Because you don't want shadows or weird things. Yeah, it really is. You have to look around and see. Like if I was to take a Nailfie right now, it would look so bad. But if I like just moved a little bit, it just makes it so much better. I love the tip about going outside, and the prop. I would have never thought of that. And I love the rings because if you're putting your hand like this, you're not going to see a ring that's up here. You have like having them here is such a great idea. I think there was someone else who said something.
A lot of people take their wedding rings and just flip them
Yeah.
and just move them down and kind of hold them in place. I see that, or they leave it up and it's also super pretty. You
Yeah.
don't have to buy rings, but they're pretty cheap.
And you guys, we're not trying to make you go out and spend $100 on something new for your business. Like, hear me say that, because I don't want you to be going bankrupt in your business and not making money. Little tweaks, even like you don't have to go buy rings. You can do a great Nailfie without any props. She's giving you ideas for props if you want to step it up and like make them like even better. So maybe like 1 month you get one ring, 1 month you get the wood board or whatever, and then like slowly build up to whatever you want for that. So don't feel like you have to buy all this today and get a ring light and do all the things. Like you don't have to spend a bunch of money. What mode do you use rather than portrait? Just a regular photo?
Regular photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Julie said, when I first start, it was like every month I would buy a new thing. So I don't ever use my ring light. I use my ring light for videos and stuff, but I don't use it for that. And it honestly, it's like, you can probably just use what's in your house. Like I said, use your wedding ring. If you have a watch, that's a great prop, gives the visual interest. And I'll show you guys, I have pictures to show you, so you kind of have like a visualization of different ideas. So let me share my screen.
And
Oh,
Beth
boy.
is saying, go in your closet. You might have something perfect already. It's so true. Or you might have a sweater that you're about to give to Goodwill and use that for your Nailfies. Like,
or even if it's a great sweater, you can still use it. You know, have it on for a second, take your picture and rip it off.
yeah.
Especially for fall, Put some boots on and just have your boots in the background with your little hands and your sweater. It's like, you'd be surprised at how much that ups your Nailfie game.
Yeah.
I have some pictures to show you. Okay, it's my first time doing this.
Oh, good.
Did I do it right?
Yes.
Okay, let me show you this janky nail, guys. I can't.
Oh gosh.
I can't do it. Can you, hold on.
And I know what that feels like, you guys, because it's taken me a long time to get my nails long. It's taken me a long time to get my nails long. And when one breaks, it's like hurting your soul, right? But you really do have to cut them all. You can't.
It's the worst. But you know what? This doesn't look good either.
No.
So just grow them all out together. It's a community effort. So I know it hurts. I've done it so many times, and my nails don't even really get that long. So I know I always have my pointer fingers always break. They're never longer than this, and I can't even grow the rest of my nails out because of my pointer finger. So I totally get it. So there's the janky nail I wanted to show you. Let's see if I can get this into a mode where you can just view it. Can you guys see these okay? Can I make it bigger?
We can see them because this takes up the whole screen now.
Okay, so like I said, go outside. The pictures that say no are all inside, and you can see the coloring is it's not perfect. The red is different in every single picture besides the one that says yes, that was outside. And you can also see, if you look at Sunset Boulevard, which is the ombre, the glitter is muted in every single one. So even though the lighting's okay in these, the Nailfie's not that good because the coloring of the sets is muted and it doesn't look good. But if you just step outside, it changes everything. I mean, look at the color of my sweater. Look how different it is in every picture.
Yeah.
It's the color of the one on the bottom right. And none of these are edited. I hate showing people unedited photos, but none of these have filters or are edited. And each of these on the ones that say no, that were inside, they are in what I consider the best lighting in my house. So like I'm using natural light coming in from a window, and it just never gets it right. So try to go outside if at all possible. So here's outside. Lighting is everything. So what happened? I could see you guys at first. There we go. The picture on the left is direct sunlight, which means the sun is literally beating on your hands, directly on your hands. It's causing a shadow. So if you see by my pinky, you can see a shadow. You can see harsh lighting on my nails. But if you look at the one on the right, that's indirect sunlight, which isn't exactly shade, but the indirect lighting that I use is like a cloudy day. So anytime I literally get my Nailfie props ready and wait for the clouds to go by, and I run outside and take all my Nailfies when it's cloudy, when the sun is being covered up by something, or if it's being filtered in through a window. If you have really good lighting in your house, let it come in through a window, but not directly harshly hitting your hands, if that makes sense. So picture on the light, harsh sunlight on my hands, which you think would be great lighting, but it's terrible. The one on the right, indirect lighting, which was in all of my pictures that are indirect lighting, it's the clouds were covering up the sun. So let me see.
They're asking, do you filter your Nailfies? And if so, which apps do you use?
I do not filter them, but I do edit them.
Okay.
I use the, I actually have that at the end. So I'll cover that at the end.
Okay.
Okay, picture on the left. This is just another example of direct sunlight on the left. In the middle is shade. In the right is indirect light. Right when I'm in the sun, but the cloud covered up the sun. Can you see the difference in those? It's insane. Look at the color, look at the reds. This is Beijing Beauty. And it's completely different in every picture. And then here's another example. Direct is on the left, huge shine in the middle. And these are all okay. These are all okay Nailfies. But if you want to up your game, try to always wait till you have some type of indirect lighting. And honestly, the only way I've mastered it is like on a cloudy day. So I don't know if that's possible for everybody. If you live in an area where you don't really have cloudiness, like in Georgia, it's always kind of cloudy and sunny all throughout the day. If you don't have that where you live, shade is your next best option. Shade that still has a little bit of natural light coming into it, not like heavy shade, if that makes sense. Let me see. The one in the middle here, I would consider heavy shade. Like that doesn't look good. My hand is a little bit blue. If you can see that, it almost looks like it's cold. That's too much shade and not enough light. This just takes practice, honestly. And this picture was just, I walked out and tried to face in the same direction. The picture on the left was at noon in direct sunlight, 3 p.m. in the middle in direct sunlight, and 5 p.m. on the right in direct sunlight, all completely different. So you have to decide what looks the best to you. And everybody's different. To me, the best one is on the right, where there's not so much shadow, not so much harsh light. The color looks more accurate to me. My sweater color looks accurate. The other two on the left are still good, but they're not as good as the one on the right. And that makes all the difference in the world, is just having all 3 of these pictures to be able to look at and think, I think that one on the right is the best one. So that's why I say take multiple, literally hold the same pose and turn around until you figure out which way you hold yourself, or which direction you're facing has the best lighting, if that makes sense. This is my favorite one, is to add depth. So show your feet, but don't show those ugly shoes. Go inside. I mean, this was literally, I just threw these together for my team. So I put like my cutest shoes on, but I probably would have put jeans on and like try to have a cute little outfit on. Try to add depth. That's just another option for a Nailfie, is to add depth and put your hand in kind of on the side so you can see the cute little shoes. Usually I wear boots and jeans, but I just threw those on last minute. So create visual interest. The one on the left is just a plain hand. That's good. The one in the middle, I added a little Nailfie ring for visual interest. And the one on the right, to me, I think is the best. And I added a cuff, which is my little cutoff sweater. So this is all optional, because the one on the left is just fine. But if you want to up your game, add something with visual interest. Grab your wedding ring and hold it. Grab any ring that you have and just slap it on there. It doesn't really have to be like anything specific. Just put it, even if it's too big, you can still hold it in place with your other fingers. And then most of you should have a sweatshirt or something lying around. I used to just use a hoodie before I figured out that this was my favorite one to take Nailfies with. So you can just use anything that you have in your house. You see how ugly my hands are? I hate taking my Nailfie like this, but The one on the left is still good. The one in the middle, add a ring, better. And the one on the right to me is the best because you're creating visual interest. You're giving someone something to look at that's not just a hand. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my biggest tip again, relax. Don't do an eagle claw. I don't know why I call it that. That's just what I call it. Picture on the left. Don't do stiff, spread apart eagle claw fingers. In the middle, don't be too stiff. That's not pretty. I mean, it's fine, but try not to be stiff. Just breathe, relax, and hold your hands just in a very relaxed position. Sometimes I have to shake them off, open them, and just slowly close them until I'm relaxed because I tend to do the one in the middle a lot because my pinky hides. You see it hiding?
My pinky hides too, and I literally have to move it with my other finger in order to get it in the right spot so you could see it.
Mm-hmm. I have to stretch it out and it hurts a little bit and I have to like prop it up against my other nail just to hold it in place. It's horrible.
I do too.
So sometimes you just shake it off and just gently bend your hands and just relax. And that will up your Nailfie game just by itself right there. Oh, so this one is just a tip. If you can't get it right, if you're find yourself doing the claw or you're spreading your fingers apart and you're like, oh, I'm doing what you're saying and it's like the bottom one on the bottom left is good, but it still doesn't look that great. Grab a blanket. Just grab a easy or a pretty blanket with not a lot of colors. Hold it, you know, loosely, relaxed, and just take a picture. That's something that you have around your house if you just can't get it right without having something in your hands. Ugh, don't hold weird things. Please, this is my biggest pet peeve when people post Nailfies in the groups that have random things from around their house. I once saw a person in my VIP group post a picture holding a nail brush with a bunch of hair in it. It was horrible, horrible. Don't hold weird things. If you have to hold something, make sure it's a pretty thing like a cup or a mug or something nail related, or hold your nail polish strips. Hold something that's not random and doesn't make any sense for your Nailfie. Okay, so this is another big tip, is to not hold something that's super distracting. So a lot of the times I hold mugs. If you have a mixed mani, do not hold the mug on the left. It's beautiful, but the first thing you probably saw was the tumbler. You don't want people to look at a picture and see the tumbler or the thing that you're holding or the background. You want them to see your nails. So if you have a really busy, beautiful cup, most likely I'm gonna look at the cup and barely even notice your nails. But if you switch over to that black cup with nothing else on it besides a bunch of water spots that I'm just now realizing, see, I didn't edit these. The first thing you notice is the mani, right? So you wanna grab something that's not super distracting if you wanna hold something. If you have a plain single color manicure that's simple, you can hold a cup that has more designs. I wouldn't do the cup on the left, that's too busy. But like I have a leopard print mug that I'll hold sometimes if I only have like one color on my nails and it's not too much going on in the picture. And then backgrounds. So I showed you the background that I bought at Walmart. Backgrounds matter more than you think they do. So take a second and look at all these. Some of these are really beautiful backgrounds, but for the Nailfie that's on, for the manicure that I have on, which one do you think is the best for what I'm wearing? You definitely don't want to have the background on the top left that has random kid things and a shoe and a cone and like random things in the background. That's way too much going on back there. I love this background. This one's good too. I just kind of look around. A lot of people like the one of my backyard view, but I don't know if the red manicure goes good with the background. So you just kind of have to look and see which one you think goes the best with your current manicure that you have on. So I literally walk around and I take almost exactly all of these pictures besides the one that has cluttery background. I take them in front of all of these spots in my backyard and I figure out which one is the best. And if you don't have something like that, like a wood background or the fence, Julie, that is my fence with the ivy. If you don't have something like that in your backyard, then you may want to go get a prop or like a pretty blanket to just lay down or pin up on the wall somehow. Just, you can get creative with it. You don't have to buy anything if that's an issue, is being able to buy stuff for props. You can easily use what's in your house. And then I try to have like a signature look so that when people look at this, they know it's mine. It's really important to do that for a marketing purpose. So people know, oh, that's Tiffany Howe. I know without even looking at the watermark. I always do this one every single time in front of that wood and with my hand propped in the same exact way. So people always know that's mine. And then I usually try to take an up close one. So give people something different to look at. This is what I meant when I said take different poses with different backgrounds that you can post at a later time so that you're still posting on your page at least almost every day or every other day until you change it. So I always take just a tiny variation of the same manicure just to create different things to look at. And I try to post one like every other day on Instagram or in my group or wherever I'm posting that day. And then the last thing I wanted to say was it's for marketing reasons. If you want to up your game and really focus on marketing, have a signature Nailfie. It is such a big deal. And I didn't realize that until recently, since I started getting attention on the groups. I didn't realize how important it was to have a signature look. So my signature look is this wood background, the same exact pose with even the little bit of detail with my thumb being kind of pushed off to the back a little bit. This finger's a little raised. I always have a Nailfie ring. So this isn't something I did on purpose with my pinky. I'm tired of fighting it. So I just let it do its thing. So I just embrace the pinky and then I always have the same cuff on. This is my signature Nailfie. If anyone has seen one of my Nailfies and they've seen 2 or 3, they know it's mine. That's such an important thing when it comes to marketing, is to have a signature look that makes people realize that is Tiffany Howe. That is Howe polished. So you see, I always.
And you guys, this is her signature, but yours will be different.
Oh yeah.
Just, something else. So don't try and make it yours, hers, just because because her Nailfies are obviously great. Don't try and make it hers because this is hers. So find a position or whatever you want for your hand that looks the best for you and make that your signature.
Yeah, exactly. You do what is comfortable with. When I was trying to copy other people because I didn't know what I was doing, I was new and I was trying to copy like Classy Claus. She has a really good hand pose. I couldn't do it. No matter how hard I tried, I would look at her picture and try to place my hand and I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. It took me a long time. I've been doing this for 1.5 years and it took me a long time to figure out what I liked on my Nailfie. And honestly, it'll probably change sometimes. It used to be something different and now it's this. So just be yourself. That's what people want in this business, is they want you. So don't copy other people, do your own thing, but you can copy the tips for going outside, cleaning your lens, like all that kind of stuff to make your Nailfie game just a little bit stronger.
Yeah. And then you guys can start sharing your own personal Nailfies and not have to be stressed about trying to find someone else's to share in your groups all the time, because you're going to have a bunch that you can go back and pull from too. Yeah.
Yeah, I really.
Do you have a hand that you prefer to use, they're saying?
Yes. I have, this is like maybe TMI full vulnerability here. I have a writer's bump thing. Did anyone ever get those in high school? Mm-hmm. Yeah, on this hand. This is my dominant hand. My nails are always shorter and this nail grows crooked. So never use this hand. I only always use my left hand because it's the better of the two.
That's me too, except one time I had a really deep crack and I had to cut my middle finger really, really low where I couldn't match all the others. And I had to take pictures with my other hand. It was
horrible.
It is hard.
I haven't had to do that yet. I just didn't take Nailfies because I was like, I'm not going to use my other hand. It's bad.
Does anyone have any more questions? I don't know if there was any more that you were going to go into, but
I do. So,
okay.
Someone did ask about editing. I just use the editing on my actual, oh my gosh, I just realized my daughter was in my phone and took a bunch of pictures of herself. So kids, let me pull one of these up. So this is just, oh, you're not going to be able to see this because of my light. An unedited Nailfie, you're not going to be able to see it. If you go and if you have an iPhone, I'm sorry, if you have an Android or anything else, I use an iPhone, so I can't be much help to anyone who doesn't have an iPhone, but I will give you the apps that I use. I click edit and then auto. If you guys have that auto edit on your iPhone, it adjusts the lighting, the warmth, the temperature, everything of your photo, and it's usually spot on if you're outside. It doesn't do it as good if you're in portrait mode. So take it just regular and just hit that auto button and watch the magic work. It's amazing. I rarely ever have to change it. It doesn't apply a filter. It just adjusts the lighting and the temperature and the clarity for you. So it makes it really pop and it's really pretty. So that's what I use. And then the other, if that doesn't get it exactly right, I use Pick, Tap, Go, all one word, Pick, Tap, Go. For lighting, there's like a slide bar you can use for all the different things you can edit on your pictures. I also use Snapseed a lot. Mainly for, I have a lot of these different apps just to use for one feature. If I have like the other day, I had a cut on my Nailfie hand, and that's the worst, right? If you break your nail on your Nailfie hand, or you like have a cut, I had a cut right in the middle of my Nailfie hand. I use Snapchat healing feature, and you literally click on the cut and it makes it disappear. Or if you have like a bump or some kind of weird thing on your actual nail, the way you applied it, you can click on it and it just makes that one spot blend. It's the most amazing feature. So that's Snapseed. I use that one a lot.
And Linda's asking, does anyone do artificial nails for Nailfies? Okay, I'm going to tell you guys. My friend Jessie Duncan, Nail Candy by Jessie D, she uses artificial nails, you guys. I'm giving away her secrets. And her fingers look perfect all the time. She does them herself. So you can totally, if you like really hate the shape of your nails and you love acrylic, there's no reason why you can't do all these same tips with artificial nails.
Absolutely. Same things would apply.
Yeah.
They probably make your Nailfies better. I love the way just a little bit of length looks and with acrylic nails. I love it. I love her Nailfies for sure.
Yeah, she's good ones too.
I was gonna say, don't tweak a lot, don't edit a lot, don't apply filters. People always know. The only time I ever really edit besides that auto button and like cropping it, I always kind of bring it in a little bit, is if I have a cut on my hand, or if I chipped my nail or something like I get a bubble, I'll just like take that one little spot out, but don't mess with it too much because it's gonna make it look not natural. And then the last thing I was gonna talk about was watermarking. Do we have time for that?
Sure. I pay for Zoom, so we're not like on a time.
Oh, awesome. Watermarking, and you know, this could be just a portion for people that want to up their marketing game. And if you don't care about that, you know, feel free to just ignore everything that I'm saying. But since I have started paying attention to the marketing of my Nailfie, it has changed my business immensely. There's so much exposure from your Nailfies, you guys, you have to use them. So anytime you put any picture out there, put something on it that makes it come back to you, whether that's just your name or your VIP group name. I actually pay for a website, howpolish.com, and that is the same exact thing that I put on every single Nailfie. Do not put anything out without putting your stamp on it. And it's not hard to put a watermark on something. I use WordSwag all the time, WordSwag, and any type of, if you just look up photo editing, you can literally use anything to just use the text function and type your name or whatever it is that you want to put on there. At least put something on there, because if you share, you never know when you're going to share an amazing Nailfie and everyone's going to love it. Yeah. I never got attention from my Nailfies. Never. I don't. The one I remember the very first one that like went viral in the Nailfie or in the Color Street world was, I don't know if you guys saw it. It was the one with like, it was like a beach looking one. And I used Palm Before the Storm and Long Time No See. And I just held it up in front of my fence, and that was the only one I took. And it took off. I'd never had any attention like that before. And I was like, I'm going to throw up. What's happening? Why is this getting shared so much? And if I didn't have my watermark on there, nobody would have known that was mine. Because it's not just stylists seeing your Nailfie. If they share it and they hashtag it, everyone is seeing it. Because people put stuff on Instagram And I can't tell you how many people also put Nailfies on Pinterest, Nailfies that aren't theirs. And I can't tell you how many new customers I have gotten. This isn't why I do this, but I get a lot of new customers from other people that share my stuff on Instagram, stylists or Pinterest. And I say, can I ask how you found me? And they're like, I saw this on Pinterest and I didn't put it there. So if other people are going to market your nails, you better put your watermark on there and make sure it comes back to you, because you do the same thing with nail candy, Life's a Beach, all those killer Nailfie girls that are really good at marketing, you know that's theirs and you follow them, right? You love their stuff, you follow them. So you have to know that there's customers that are going to follow you if they like what you do. That's why it's so important to have a signature look. People tell me all the time, oh my gosh, I scrolled past this on Pinterest and I knew it was yours before I even looked to see if it was yours. Just having a signature Nailfie with your watermark on it is life-changing for your business. So never put anything out that doesn't have something tying it back to you. And if you have a web page, I recommend using a web page, or at least your VIP, like your business name.
Yeah, and you guys, we have a training in Threefold United all about domains, is like what she's talking about. Like mine is threefoldchic.com. So like if you want to use that and if you have questions about that, go search in Threefold United. An app that I love to use is called Typorama, and it saves your watermark so you never have to recreate it again. It's in the right space, in the right everything. So like you create it one time and then every time you put a photo on there, the same watermark shows up. And that's like my favorite thing, because I don't want to have to create things from scratch every single time. And they're asking if you're on Pinterest and Instagram. Yeah, you guys, and someone said, do you use your Nailfies on your personal page? Yes, guys, 100% you should be put, like, I know that so many of you are scared to post on your personal page because you don't want to be spammy and gross and you're scared of what other people will think. You guys, you're never going to grow your VIP group if you are not posting on your personal page or on in a public forum like Instagram or whatever. I personally haven't used Pinterest yet, but there was a whole Tuesday training, I believe, on Pinterest. So make sure that you go look for that in the app. We have all the Tuesday trainings. Someone did a whole training on using Pinterest for your business. So there's always stuff for you to be able to use and find more information about at your fingertips. Do you recommend to make a separate Instagram account specifically for your Nailfies?
I do, because what Julie was saying, I'm super scared of posting on my personal page. I am that person that's like, oh, everyone's going to hate me. All the people that don't do their nails are going to be like, oh my God, she's another stay-at-home mom that tries to sell things. Like, I am that person that
you need to stop with the inner mean girl. You guys have to post on your personal page. Oh my gosh, it's going to change your whole business.
If you take anything from this that's not Nailfie related, use the social tools that are at your fingertips. This is what everyone is using. What do you do when you go to Target and you find, this is not even about Nailfies anymore. You go to Target and you find an amazing thing at the water bin, or the dollar bin. You put it on Facebook. Do you think, oh my God, that's gonna annoy half my friends that don't shop at Target, or that think, oh my God, she's always, you don't think that. You found something cool. Look at this awesome mug I found in the Target bin. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden you just advertised and 10 of your friends went to go get the Target bin mug. It's happened to me a million times where someone gets a pumpkin spice anything and I'm like, I have to go to Target right now. Social selling is the world that we live in. So make yourself, and I tell this to myself daily, make yourself get over it. You're doing this. If you want it to do anything for you in return, you might as well use it to its full advantage. And you need to start social selling on Pinterest.
I know.
You get on Pinterest, my friend. It is, where do you go? Where did you go at the beginning when you started to look for Nailfie inspiration? Pinterest.
Did I go to Pinterest? I probably just Googled.
I went, well, a lot of Google takes you to Pinterest.
I need to like really I'm gonna, like, you guys, we should do a training or like a week or something where we're like all going to actually do Pinterest. I don't know if that will be interesting to you, but it will for me.
It changed it. I never used to use Pinterest. I did it on accident once, not accident. I was just like, whatever, I'll just put it on Pinterest too. And then I got a customer from Pinterest. Oh, I saw this on Pinterest, and I came, you know, they saw my watermark and came directly to me. And it was like, oh my God, why this whole time I haven't been using Pinterest? I get more.
I need to use
than I
it.
do Instagram. Yeah,
Yes.
because a lot of customers are going to Pinterest. They all tell me, oh gosh, look what I saw on Pinterest. And I'm like, oh, see? That's what everyone's using.
I need to do that. And if you're finding that you don't have more customers, or you're like, I don't know how to get more people, then, you know, there's so many different social platforms. I say personally that you should master one before you try another. So like, I personally love Facebook more than Instagram. Even if I like Instagram, I still feel like I get the majority of my sales and things from Facebook. But I still am on Instagram as well. Those are the two platforms that I personally like, but I feel like I've gotten pretty good at those. And so now I probably will do Pinterest. But you guys, remember, we've done a training about this too. I don't want you just spamming nails on your Facebook page or really in your Instagram, unless it's a specific only Color Street one. You've got to, people are never, it's a whole training. Okay. But I think you need, people to know you, who you are, and you have to share things that you love in between those pictures with your nails. Okay. It can't be all nails all the time, or people are going to ignore you. So sharing about your family, sharing about, I always say your 5 pillars, 5 things that you love, and sprinkle in those amazing Nailfies that you're going to take, because you're going to have them on your phone and you're going to have a whole slew of them that you can choose from. And then every once in a while you do that. I like doing that with the videos. So I feel like I'm not as great at Nailfies as I am now, especially with Jay editing for me for videos. But I'll be posting those a lot, and those get shared all the time. So find what works for you, find what's best for you. But I think what you can take away from this whole thing is like, don't just be like, oh, I suck at Nailfies, and use everybody else's. You have to keep trying, find what works for you, go outside, do all the things that she just told you, and then see how much it helps your business. And I think we all can work on doing that and doing it better.
Yeah, start small. Just start, like, commit a whole week to only sharing your own Nailfies. Maybe one of someone else's, but only share your own, and then branch out and try Instagram. There's a lot of people that use their personal page for Instagram. I don't like to spam people with a bunch. I just want to be able to post only Nailfies and have my people that follow me be able to have a place to follow exactly what they're there for. So I do have a separate page for my Nailfies, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Use Instagram.
I used to, and then I was like, I can't keep up.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
so for
hard.
me, I'm
it's
like,
hard to market. People pay people to market for them. It's hard. It's not easy, or else everyone would be really good at it. It is not easy, and it takes a lot of time. But use the next week, maybe try just adding Instagram. Use hashtags. Look up what other people are using for Color Street hashtags. Follow Julie. She uses great hashtags. Do what she's doing. She's on your team. You're allowed to do that, right? Are people allowed to copy you if they're on your team?
Yeah.
Follow what she's doing. And then while you're on Instagram, try using Instagram stories. Instagram stories, you guys, is where it's at right now. People are hot on those. Like, they love Instagram stories. So if you're uncomfortable posting on your personal page, Nailfies, but again, do it the way, I'm sure, Julie, like you said, you have a training on how to do like the pillars and stuff. That's a big deal. So definitely watch that first. But use Instagram stories to get used to like posting on your personal page, and it'll make you more comfortable with it because it's not so in your face. Someone has to choose to go to your story to look at it. And if they don't want to, they can swipe right past it. So it's a little bit less intrusive. And then next, try Pinterest, but just start adding a little bit more each time. And I promise you, it will do wonders for your business. Just focusing on the marketing of a good Nailfie, just your Nailfie. Try that.
Yes. Well, thank you, Tiffany. I think I learned new things, and I know this team learned lots of new things. And I thank you for taking your time for an hour, sharing all of your knowledge with us. No, it's good. Like spending that long with us, and all of you guys hanging in. So thank you for doing that for us. I'm going to put this recording on YouTube and share it with everybody. So if you missed it, then you will be able to still see. But yes, everybody's saying thank you.
Oh,
we really, and I added Tiffany to our team page, so I will put like a little post up. And if you don't mind, Tiffany, if you guys have more questions and maybe she can answer them, that maybe you forgot here or that we missed. I don't know if we missed any.
Absolutely. I'm a sharer.
Okay.
Not competitive at all. So I know I'm not on your team or whatever, but if you have questions, I follow the best. And Julie's one of the people that I've been following for a long time. And I don't mind sharing what I've learned to people that aren't on my team. So if you have any questions at all ever, when I'm sure you're probably going to remove me from your team eventually, but feel free to message me. I'm seriously an open book. So I'm sure I forgot a lot of things.
All right. Well, thank you. You guys have a great night. I'm so glad that you were able to jump on. And I hope you have a great Wednesday and the rest of the week. Okay.
Thank you guys. Julie, is there something I need to do special?
I think you have to say end meeting and then that's it.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.